Hello there, CR Wrestling Commentary, Cedric and Cedra here. Giving thoughts on Julia Hart's storyline thus far. You know, probably some predictions and whatnot. Cedra's here just in case she wants to chime in because she had thoughts about it. She was like, why is she looking like this? Or why is she... Okay.
So, want me to take it back a little bit?
I was going to go through the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to go through the whole thing. So, the Varsity Blondes, they, regardless of how and why they formed, they're there. Julia Hart became a thing of it. Okay. And then House of Black, they started getting members and bolstering and yada yada. So then there was a storyline with that. And then at one point on stage, Malachi Black blew mist in the direction of Julia Hart that didn't really get touched, but I'm sure there were some speckles there, and she screamed and dropped. Okay. Now, that was some months ago.
At least 4.
Now.
It was cold when that happened.
As cold as the winters can get here. So, eventually she had this eye patch on. She's been wearing the eye patch, and it's just been an eye patch. That's all it has been for months. About a month and a half ago, the Varsity Blondes would come out, and Julia would just get on the steps, sit down with her back turned to them, and look like she's pouting. Okay. I'm like, what's this all about? What's going on? And there hasn't been hiding her hair talk about it. Commentators don't talk about it. Nobody really mentions.
Nobody said anything about it.
So it's just poor storytelling by AEW again.
Not to mention, before she started doing that, when she would wrestle, she was like wrestling like a baddie. Not Jade Cargill's baddies, but like
just a little mean, like she's My Little Pony being a little angry. That's about how she was. Like, I'm just a little serious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no cheating or nothing. But she's
more aggressive.
Huh?
More aggressive.
Yeah, a little more aggressive, but still. I'll be honest with you, because of the training that they're all going through, they're not believable in their actions in the ring. I don't believe they want to hit somebody. I don't believe they want to hurt somebody. I don't believe they want to kick somebody.
They might want to dance with somebody.
You know, yeah. You know, just with somebody that loves me. Okay, so Whitney Houston fans out there. So time still keeps going by, same old, same old. Eventually, Julia decides, okay, I don't want y'all at ringside for my match. Go, get away. And Pillman and dude is like, what? So Garrison, that's his name.
Griff.
Yeah, Griff Garrison.
Oh, okay. I forgot about Garrison.
So they're like, what? They're upset. They leave. She has her match. She wins. Okay. There's been hide nor hair of
the House of Black.
Yeah, House of Black and whatnot. But every time you see Varsity Blondes dealing with the House of Black, it's a multi-man thing that means nothing. And there's no promos or nothing to further it. And those matches are sporadic and few and far between. As House of Black has been dealing with Pentagon Oscuro and that group.
Yeah.
You know.
They moved on.
Yeah, they've moved on, but yet kind of keep coming back every once in a while.
Oh, and her clothes started changing.
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, when she wrestles, Julia Hart is still in her cheerleading outfit.
Yeah, but she used to wear it all the time.
Yeah, every once in a while she changes. So, here we go. For months, nothing. Keep that in mind, everybody. Nothing.
Nothing.
And now, just last episode of Dark, there's some face paint. It looks like a black eye. It looks like it should be a black eye.
Kind of like a black eye.
But the problem is, it's flat, it's not poofy, and it's under the eye patch
yeah.
Where it's never been before. And she doesn't get hit on that side when they're in any match. She's never hit on that side.
And on the other eye, she's got dark eyeshadow on.
So,
and she's got on all black, except for her shoes are like white cheerleader shoes and socks.
At points, she wears that, you know. When she's not wrestling at all, she comes out in the all black outfit. Oh my God. So last dark, which would be the 3rd, I think.
Yes.
May 3rd. That's when she comes out with this slightly larger black eye, but it's flat. There's nothing to it. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay.
What it looks like is if you're wearing mascara and you get wet or you cry and it's not waterproof. And it kind of like it's makeup that's kind of run down her face.
Yeah, the problem is it doesn't even look like it's that. It's like if it was that, someone blow dried it quickly.
Yeah.
Real quick. Okay. But it didn't have that streak. It didn't have any streaks. This time, tonight that we're watching, it's honestly morning. It's 5:13 a.m. Okay, it's May 4th. All right. Teeter couldn't sleep, so she's up and she's watching this with me. And I was going to do this before I watched the second dark. I think it's Elevation the second.
Nope.
Okay, Elevation was first.
Yeah.
It wasn't categorized as that as I saw. I'm like, in Elevation first and then, but in any case, it's dark and then there's dark part 2. That's how I see it. So she's coming out on this one, on the second episode of Dark. And now it's not just a bruise, but now it's got little streaks with it. And it's okay. So back it up. Just yesterday, well, what should have been yesterday is I was just watching and I was just like, oh, it's so obvious. As soon as I saw it, and when I saw that it was that dark, I said, okay, I know what's finna happen now. Because she's been sitting there pouting and not happy. She's the sexually dissatisfied housewife that got sexually molested by the drunken, brutish Bluto, and she's like, I think I want to go with Bluto, Popeye. And so they're like, no, you're not gonna do that. And she's like, I'm gonna sit here mad. And they're trying to keep her away from them. And she's like, I'm slowly turning evil. Can't you see as the blackness is under the eye patch? What will happen when I take it off and unveil it to all of you? I'm obviously one of them. And I'll dye my hair black. And I'll wear dark clothing. And I'll betray the living shit out of all of you. Ha 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 ha. And that's my prediction. And it's going to look stupid. It's going to be a fart in the desert because no one's going to care and no one will be there to see it or hear it or smell it. It's going to be bad. It's not going to look good. Do you know why? Because this is a woman with a babyface team and she's been infected by the bad guy that brutally outsize and outnumber her team. So she's going to turn on her team to make them look bad and join the bad guys. And this does not help the Varsity Blondes. So tonight's episode, Pillman does a rant where he slipped and called the House of Black her buddies. And she did an eye roll like, so what, whatever, while she's wearing all black with the eye patch and her own dark makeup on her left eye. This is poor. This is
very poor.
Very poor. This is not how you do a change. This isn't. It's too many months down the line. She's not an ace player. She is not a big time baller. You do this and save this for people that you don't see it coming. There's the eye patch. You don't see any makeup or nothing. There's just the eye patch, and every once in a while they talk about how it's getting a little bad, and then they can't wrestle. They don't want to wrestle. Now they don't want to be around you, and then
there should be some, what's happening to you? What's going on?
Yeah, why don't you return our calls? What's going on?
You haven't been right since.
And then some of the bad guys come out and be like, she returns or he returns my call. What do you mean? And then the eye patch comes off. I see the truth now. And then then a fight ensues. That's how you would do it. But it has to be somebody that's worthwhile joining a smaller group that evens out the odds against the babyface group. Joining a larger group that's already owning somebody is not spectacular. It's more like, wow, now the babyfaces are lacking someone that wasn't even around them in the first place. Whoa. Seems like it's nothing. So then Pillman goes on to say she's the reason we're together, yada, yada, yada. So if she joins House of Black, they don't have her. They have a reason to split up. Griff Garrison's going away. Pillman's probably going away too. Or something different is happening. But Griff Garrison, not someone I look forward to seeing in the ring. Just saying. He could be a great person. I just don't look forward to seeing him in the ring. They have really screwed the pooch on making this team look viable. They really screwed the pooch on this one. And Julia Hart eventually joining House of Black, because that's how I see it. If she doesn't, okay. I don't lose anything whether she does or don't. You know, the eggs that Cedra cook on certain mornings going to taste as awesome as they do. Don't even matter. So, I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a heel turn. It's slow, methodical, meaningless, and her wrestling isn't going to get any better. They're going to be able to use her in the House of Black to go for, I would say, the World Women's title, because her beating Cargill ain't going to happen. But she's at the right size, and if she does change her repertoire, then she has a good chance of beating Thunder Rosa, who is a very lackluster women's champion right now. They don't showcase her enough. She doesn't do any promos, and if she do, she's got to be angry and spitting venom instead of just being the woman of the people, which that's what they tried to pass over when she won. She went into the crowd, a thing that she just did not do until then. They're probably gearing Julia Hart for a title shot run or something. But those are my predictions. So did that explain everything and more for you, Cedra?
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see how it all turns out. But what do y'all think about, what Julia Hart is doing and done? And please keep the comments of she's shit or she's a jobber or I don't care one way or another. No, if you've actually watched a little bit and seen things here and there, did I pretty much, speak what you were thinking or whatnot? Or did you think it's going to go a different way? Look, this pretty much is this. But look, check me out on Spreaker and stuff, where sometimes me and Cedra might have a conversation. And the last one, we just pretty much just threw all kinds of shade at Jim Cornette and whatnot. And she's forcing me to defend Jim Cornette, Adam Cole, and some others, as well as I do tear them down a little bit. And you get to hear Cedra's venom, and you get to hear a little bit of mine about a lot of things, but we just it's just a frank, general conversation without any restraint, no holding back, no BS. We just out there for y'all, So we put stuff like that on Spreaker now instead of YouTube. They're gonna be like 30 minutes or more. They're just us talking, and we might argue with each other and whatnot. So please go to Spreaker or other podcast areas where you might find, your podcast and whatnot. It don't have to be Spreaker; it can be other places. I think we're on Deezer, Spotify, and things like that. So find us there if you can. With that said, good night. See you next time.